There is no denying that these past 2.5 years have brought unprecedented challenges, where our health, safety, and way of life have been completely upended as a result of COVID. Having served as governor during many challenges, I know a thing or two about the importance of strong and steady leadership in times of crisis. Trust me when I say that I have full confidence that Lou and Josh are the leaders Guam needs at this pivotal time in our history. Lou and Josh have led our island through some of our darkest times, and because they stayed the course, our island is on the verge of a recovery that will infuse life back into an economy thirsting for a fresh start. I've said it before, and I mean it still. People of Guam, you're still the one.
This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
It's an honor to stand behind one of the great governor, lieutenant governor Island has had.
Lou and Josh don't only deserve to be our governor and lieutenant governor, we need them to be our governor.
What does it take to be a leader? It's about making a decision and sticking with it. And I'm telling you, you have to vote Lou and Josh.
The most striking characteristic of our governor is she is kind, a genuine, determined passion, and, at the core of it all, the qualities that make a great leader.
I was blessed enough to intern for LT. His experience, which is rooted in his love for the people of Guam, is what truly sets him apart.
When we win, because we are going to win.
4 more years.
Let's take this energy to the polls so we can move forward. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Your News Leader, in Day 5 of trial of Nicholas Moore, Eric Salone took the stand once again. Plus, concerns are raised about how some police officers are not physically fit for patrol. Nick Delgado has the story. And since it went active in July, Daniel Paris gets an update on the 988 helpline and just how many have been availing of the number. These stories and more right now on KUAM News Primetime.
Hafa and good evening, everyone. I'm Hannah Devonzo, and thanks for tuning in to Your News Leader. Trial continues in Superior Court for Nicholas Wayne Moore, where questions were raised about Navy sailor Eric Salone's drug history. He allegedly witnessed Moore shoot an individual in Agana Heights back in October of 2020. Here's more.
Government witness and Navy sailor Eric Salone took the stand again during Day 5 of Nicholas Wayne Moore's trial. He previously testified to being a passenger in his car when Moore allegedly shot and injured a man in Agana Heights. Salone admitted he also fired a gun during the drive-by shooting. Questions about his past and stability were raised by defense attorney David Lujan.
I understand, sir, that you are into drugs. Want me to repeat it?
Was that a question, sir?
Yes.
And you said, am I?
Yes.
I have been before.
Did you have, a particular source that would sell you drugs?
I did.
And how often would you buy drugs starting 2018 from whomever your source was?
Probably once a paycheck.
Sorry?
Probably once a paycheck, so twice a month.
Salone admitted to previously using drugs such as Percocet and oxycodone, among other things.
What's wrong with you that you need Percocet?
So I've had Going into my background, I grew up a dancer, so since I was young, I had lots of falls problems with my body. Also, I've been in the military for 10 years, and I've been doing a lot of crazy stuff. So,
You know, when you talk about military for 10 years, you know this island is nothing but full of veterans, huh? Longer than you.
yes, sir.
Who don't use Percocet.
During cross-examination, Lujan appeared to be sarcastic with Salone.
You think it's too late for me to get drugs?
Do I think it's too late?
Yeah, for me. Experience Percocet.
At one point during trial, attorney Lujan seemed frustrated with Salone's request to repeat questions and even offered to let him use his hearing aid.
Are you deaf also like me?
I have some hearing issues, yes, sir.
One bar of this?
I'm not, that's not mine.
This may be.
I'm good,
Might
thank
help
you.
Trial will continue in Judge Alberto Tolentino's courtroom in Superior Court.
Unfit for duty. Many local police are getting away with not having to take the physical fitness test. The test is required by Guam law. Our Nick Delgado joins us with the story. So Nick, how are these officers still able to go out on patrol?
Yeah, Hannah, that's the concern from their fellow officers who for weeks have been outraged over the situation, many sharing with us their lingering worries for their safety, knowing their partner and their backup pose a liability and risk while on the job. Dozens of Guam police officers currently on the streets and not physically patrol ready. That's according to multiple concerned GPD officers who wish to remain unnamed. These officers telling KUAM they do not want officers who may have limited liabilities responding to emergency calls, adding these officers should be placed on administrative duty. The problem is certain officers continue responding to calls without passing the mandated police officer physical agility tests, also known as POPAT.
I think that physical fitness just needs to be part of who they are and what they do for many different reasons. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be a gym rat or anybody needs to be, some CrossFit guru, but I'm just thinking that they need to kind of take that extra step and think about that they need to be physically fit.
The standards were put in place when Chief J.I. Cruz was in charge.
The intent of that law was to be able to establish a healthier employee, a healthier officer, to be able to work in the public safety arena within the government of Guam.
The final law passed in 2018, and after a 2-year pause caused by the pandemic, law enforcement this year are again required to take the test. Current Police Chief Stephen Ignacio saying close to 200 officers passed it last month. More than 60 officers were either on leave or submitted medical waivers. Ignacio admitting guidance on what to do with those who fall short of the requirement has yet to be finalized by the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission.
If there are in fact police officers who are out there not physically able to provide backup in situations where an officer needs backup at a disturbance, at a riot in progress, or any call for that matter, then it becomes a officer survival issue, and the safety of that officer could be, in jeopardy.
Ignacio says there will be an opportunity for officers to take it again soon. Still, several on the force feel officer safety and officer survival is a major concern, knowing fellow cops with medical liabilities are still responding to emergencies.
Their concern is valid. They need to sit down. They need to talk amongst each other. They need to figure out how to go forward to be able to be safe out in the field and then at the same time be in compliance with the law.
Cruz adding if there is no solution, then it could mean that the law would again need to be changed. I did speak with Post-Commission Acting Executive Director Bob Camacho, who says, bottom line, officers are mandated to take the fitness test and are given multiple chances to pass. Ultimately, Camacho says officers who have yet to pass it have until December 31st before further action may be taken. Hannah?
Thanks, Nick. And a local gas station in Yigo is robbed at gunpoint overnight. Police responded to the Yigo Shell gas station just before midnight after a cashier reported a man walked in with a rifle. The masked gunman pointed the weapon at her, demanding money before taking off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Police say the robber fled in a black SUV believed to be a Honda CR-V or HRV. The car did not have a license plate and had dark tint. The suspect is said to be around 5'9" with a slim build. He was last seen wearing a black and red hoodie with a black hat, red mask, gray sweatpants, and black and white shoes. A second unidentified suspect was the driver in the getaway car. The robbery forced the gas station to close for a couple of hours. No injuries were reported, and anyone with information is asked to call your nearest police precinct. And a tragic update to the search for a man reporting missing late last month. Guam police located the body of Kelvin Sanchez in a jungle area in Dededo on August 14th. Authorities confirm he took his own life. Sanchez was last seen leaving the Summertown Estates in Dededo on July 30th. His wife, Edeline, and other family members spent days searching the island for any signs of him. The father of the two had been battling depression for several years, and families say that he used walking as an outlet. Mass is being held nightly at 6 p.m. at the Santa Barbara Church in Dededo, followed by rosaries at 7 p.m. at 126 West Benadu Street. Last respects is set for September 1st at the Guam Memorial Park in Barrigada. Sanchez was 40 years old. And $12 million for drug treatment and counseling services will be available for local programs. Speaking today before the Rotary Club, Attorney General Levin Camacho says millions more are due as a result of national opioid abuse settlements with major pharmaceutical companies.
The settlement funds can only be used for drug abatement, drug treatment, and drug rehabilitation. So they made sure that it wasn't going to go into the general fund and be used for pet projects. It's going to be used to address the problems that created the accountability for these companies.
He said a law sponsored by Senator Amanda Shelton created an advisory council and established a trust fund for the settlement monies, which will continue to pour in as big pharmaceutical companies pay up for the opioid epidemic.
Last month, we entered into 2 additional settlements, which are about $6.6 billion. Of that, Guam can expect to receive maybe $2 to $2.5 million more if those are tentative settlements, but if they are approved, that's going to be added to the pot. So if you add Purdue and you add Teva and Allegrin, we're looking at about $16 to $17 million.
AG Camacho says they're also seeing an uptick in opioid use among younger people, which is a growing concern. And still to come on Your News Leader, the need for a slaughterhouse is discussed on the session floor today, and we get an update on the 988 hotline. These stories and more coming up next.
Tom Fisher was a Peace Corps volunteer and an educator in the jungles of Central Africa. He went from educating children in impoverished nations to serving our nation in the United States Navy. Tom's legal expertise took him from the military courtroom as a judge advocate general to the courts of Guam, where he has spent 3 decades representing our Manumco and our less fortunate. Tom Fisher knows the law. He'll be a great lawmaker. Let's vote Attorney Thomas Fisher for Senator.
I'm Tom Fisher, and I approve this message.
Santa Fe family.
I'm Elizabeth Nicholas, and I'm voting for Joe.
My name is Elisa. Again, I'm voting for Joe.
I'm Hope Benavente de los Reyes, and I'm voting for Joe.
I'm Marjorie Linsky. I'm voting for Joe.
I'm Dado Razon. I'm voting for Joe.
I am Deb Kenga. I am voting for Joe.
My name is John Ray Taitino, and I'm voting for Joe.
My name is Jerry Labalson, and I'm voting for Joe.
I'm Ellie Baldemore. I'm voting for Joe San Agustin.
Please vote Joe San Agustin for Senator. Thank you.
I'm Senator Joe Shimizu San Agustin, and I approve this message.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds of the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
All that melty cheese you crave with Double the Steak is back at Taco Bell. The Double Steak Grilled Cheese Burrito.
Calvo Select Care's comprehensive medical provider network offers our members choice and access to quality facilities locally in Asia, Hawaii, and the continental United States. We provide our members several wellness programs and healthy options to improve their overall health status. Calvo Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you. Contact us today for more information.
The Deputy Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Donald Remy, is wrapping up his listening tour across the Pacific with his stop on Saipan today after visiting veterans on Guam. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia sits down with U.S. Delegate Gregorio Sablon, who shares what he hopes Remy not only hears but sees. Here's more.
Service to veterans should not be up and down based on the market. It should be a steady flow of resources that veterans need for, especially for their health, their well-being. And then, of course, if there are other benefits, then other benefits too. We're not, we can, I don't know if the Commonwealth will commit to that kind of discretionary spending when they can even make sure that patients on Guam who have ORB are from the Northern Marianas, maybe on medical referral, cannot receive prescription medication. This is a shame. And, here we are celebrating Balboa Park. Nothing against the Chamorro house, the house of the Chamorro, but my goodness, at a time when really, there's really no problems here, that we go there, just, mind-boggling sometimes, the most astounding as it is, it's mind-boggling still.
Delegate Kilili with sharp criticism of local government priorities as some local officials are off-island while the Deputy Secretary of the VA, Donald Remy, arrived on Saipan Tuesday morning as part of his Pacific listening tour at the invitation of the congressman. Focus now turns to what's happening on the ground as Remy meets with a small group of veterans and tours the NMI's only hospital.
When we first got in this job, there was hardly any permanent VA presence on the island. Once in a while people come in. And now we've got, my goodness, we're still short, far short. And just think of our isolation. But, we're still short, but we've still gone a long way. And this is what the Secretary needs to see. This is what headquarters VA needs to see and other agencies. Is that, we're isolated, but it can be fixed.
Kilili has advocated for the establishment of a community-based outpatient clinic in the NMI. He says the distance Remy traveled ought to be a first lesson on how difficult access to care is.
We're not just remote in terms of, distance, and we are, but also in terms of the services that our veterans get here. I'm not expecting that we should have a world-class, veterans medical center here, but access to those that are available. And so, our veterans here in Rota and Tinian, it's even more difficult.
He recalled the story of a Rota patient on a wheelchair having to travel by boat to Guam to get treatment. He wants to ensure that never happens again. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News.
Another step's been taken to launch a slaughterhouse on Guam. Lawmakers approved an amendment to the budget bill to appropriate $600,000 in seed money for either a mobile or permanent facility. Sponsor Senator Clint Rogel says he's been pushing for a slaughterhouse, but it's run into various roadblocks such as where to locate it. But he maintains that Guam needs such facility now more than ever.
We've seen the problems with imports. We've seen the shelves go really thin. If you go shopping now, you'll see there's so many items missing from the shelves. We are just one global disaster or global war away from having the shipping lanes cut off, and we will run out of food. It's time for us to start producing our own food.
Senators recessed the budget session until Friday morning to allow Speaker Therese Terlahi time to be with her family pending the funeral of her father, former Vice Speaker Edward Terlahi. And it's been more than a month since the launch of the 988 mental health hotline, and according to officials from Guam Behavioral, it's been very active. Daniel Perez has the details.
988. A simple 3-digit number to call when one is having a mental health crisis and has no one to talk to. The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline went live last month and is designed to provide 24/7 free and confidential emotional support around the country, including territories such as Guam. The 988 number connects the caller to a certified crisis center on the island, that center being the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. GBHWC Director Teresa Ariola shared that since the crisis number went live, it's been very active.
Since its launch, 988, we have received, in July alone, our hotline received 1,249 calls. Of those calls, from 7/16, July 16, 208 were from the Lifeline. Top reasons for calls: loneliness, resource information, family issues, frustration, anxiety. I'm happy to report that 95% of all calls that derive from a 988 on Guam were answered. So you might ask, what happened to the 5%? Because I asked that, and because I like getting 100%. Well, the 5% are calls that hang up before they're actually connected, but we still have a recording of it.
Ariola added that she wants those who are in need of mental support to know that they are never alone, and that should they need someone to talk to, the mental health professionals handling the hotline are there to help.
There really isn't any reason why anyone will ever feel like they're alone and they have to navigate those stresses in life alone. Guam Behavioral Health is here. We're open 24 hours a day, as well as you can walk up in the front door, open 24 hours a day, or you can call the 988 number. Either way, there's people here that can help you.
There are between 8 to 12 mental health professionals who answer the 988 calls, and all are certified to do so. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health issue, the 988 crisis hotline is one call away. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
Stay tuned. Up next, Dave Delgado with your roundup of local sports.
Can I call up Kevin to speak for the mayor?
Thank you so much for coming here in the village of Haget. 4 years ago, I stood before you in the Sagam Bisita as a Republican. Not knowing where this administration would take us, I stand before you here 4 years later, happy with the decision that we made as a community to vote in this administration. We have our gym that's constantly getting renovated. We have our senior citizen center that is undergoing its renovations. We have our RR crews and Finili finally getting the flooding mitigation. The list goes on of what this administration has done and what will they continue to do for our people. We just need to come out and we need to vote. I am asking you as your mayor, let's continue our progress and let's keep moving forward. Viva Lou and Josh.
This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
I have a tablet. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on Tab.
Get live TV on your tablet or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your Link Bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi.
Ooh, TV on Tab.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have. And now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Guam was once home to over 12 native species of forest birds, each with their own unique sound, color, and role to play in our ecosystem. However, the arrival of the brown tree snake has threatened their existence. Today, only 3 of these species still exist in the wild. But what was once lost can be restored. Join the Department of Agriculture's efforts to restore our ecosystem. It is only through partnerships with various organizations and the community that we can give our native birds a future. Support snake suppression.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get you started tonight with basketball highlights from the FSM basketball tournament played at the Guam Sports Complex Gym. Check it out. Bank of Guam Strikers won the Bud Light Women's Soccer League Premier Division with the 4-2 win over Metro Pacific Islanders FC. Lauren Phillips led her team with 2 goals for the night, and teammates Alicia Beneventi and Olivia Haddock also scored in the win. Guam Shipyard slipped past Quality Distributors 7-6 for second place. Colleen Naden led Shipyard with the hat trick. Teammate Brianne Leon Guerrero finished with 2 goals. Hannah Cruz and Alina Gumatau contributed with 1 goal each in the win. In bowling news, Ray St. Nicholas upended top seed RJ Santos in the monthly finals of the Budweiser King of the Lanes event held at the Central Lanes Bowling Center. St. Nicholas maintained his 1-mark lead before doubling in the final stanza for his first title of the year. Miyuki Kim rode a last game qualifying round surge into the finale to maintain her top post and earn her second title of the year. Kim toppled Rudy Palaganis in the semifinal round before disposing of Corey Granillo in the finale of the Budweiser Prince of the Lanes category. The next Budweiser King and Prince of the Lanes will be held on Sunday, September 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Central Lanes Bowling Center.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Buenas, I'm Amanda Shelton. Whether creating the first Veterans Bill of Rights, increasing scholarship funding for college students, creating the Opioid Recovery Fund, providing pandemic relief to companies, or pushing to raise the cost of living allowance for Manamku, my time as a lawmaker has always been about empowering people. I metgut na isla tumatuhon kon metgut na kabatsitu, who prometi how esti.
Please re-elect Amanda Shelton for Senator, Johnny Cole Torres, Treasurer.
Hey, can we talk?
Okay.
During the pandemic, that's the time that were closed for 1 year. So the payment that me and my daughter we bring home, let's just say 500 a month or 600. My rent is 850. When I contact the rental assistant, they say that I'm approved. I really so happy. Kiri so tabur, maridi God, kiri so yeri God. Ren me de Governor Lulian Guerrero and Charles Trevor Ngeri Arabas Igerai. Reri ke begin arinis. Mi dori Arabas is a money Philippine. Ren took Panabe. Any kind of lacility, she really helped us out for the rent. Kiri so tabur. God ebofako no prayer. God bless, Governor. Yes.
This ad is paid for by the Department of Administration using federal funds.
Today, I'm Kelina from Doc's Cutie College.
And I'm Kristen from Doc's Daycare and Preschool.
And we are so honored to be caring for the children of Guam. The governor's child care programs help businesses like ours to really focus on the kids. These programs also help nonprofits and after-school programs and grandparents and so many families.
Visit www.guamchildcare.com to learn more about the governor's child care programs. This ad is paid for with funds administered by DPHSS.
Welcome back. If you frequent Amazon to take care of a little shopping, here's one way to help Sanctuary Incorporated of Guam by doing just that.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
Did you know that if you shop at smile.amazon.com, they'll be able to donate to your favorite charitable organization at no cost to you? So attention shoppers, this is your chance to help Sanctuary Incorporated of Guam. Amazon donates 0.5% of eligible purchases to Sanctuary Incorporated when you shop regularly. Sanctuary Incorporated of Guam is a private nonprofit community-based organization that exists to provide critical social services to youth and their families. It was established in 1971 as an alternative to the juvenile justice system for runaway, homeless, neglected, and abused youth. Since its inception, Sanctuary continues to seek ways to improve the quality of life for Guam's youth. With your normal shopping on the website, your help allows Sanctuary to provide their youth clients with services such as family or group counseling, shelter, food, transportation to school and appointments, and so much more. To get started is simple. All you have to do is head over to smile.amazon.com and type in Sanctuary Incorporated of Guam and start your shopping. To find out more information about the organization or to get details, head on over to smile.amazon.com or call Sanctuary Incorporated at 671-475-7101. With this week's Giving Every Tuesday, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
And we wrap up the show with your birthday shout-outs. Here's Jason Solis.
Happy birthday on this August 23rd to Vanessa Lynn Manabusan, who celebrates Sweet 16 in 2022. Vanessa, happy birthday to you. Love your family and all of us here at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery. And you know what? All over Guam, we wish you a very happy 16th birthday. Have the best day ever, Vanessa.
You can be a part of our Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by checking out KUAM.com. And that's our show. I'm Hannah Devonzo. Thank you, and please stay safe, Guam.
Happy day, everybody. It is another Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's health, home, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Daniel Perez, and let's get right into it with Health Check. Check it out.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Bennett Cox is busy with sports, so he hasn't been on his iPad much this summer. His mom, Leslie, has been thinking about getting the 11-year-old a cell phone. The American Academy of Pediatrics and AT&T are launching tools to help families decide if kids are ready for a phone and help create safe, responsible media and technology use. This questionnaire asks, does your child keep track of their things and whether you trust their judgment when you aren't there, to gauge if the family is in the ready zone or not yet. Parents can also build a customized media plan for the whole family. Bennett thinks he is responsible enough for a cell phone. Leslie says it's best when kids can just be kids without screens. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
I am Vera Charglet Mendiola, and I am voting for Joe.
I am Danny Blas. I am voting for Joe.
I am Sarah Babakna Charglet Taitano, and I am voting for Joe.
My name is John Ray Taitano, and I'm voting for Joe.
I am Emily Caceres, and I'm voting for Joe.
Ako po si Junel Ombrero. Iboto po natin si Joe.
My name is Anthony James Passion Wolford, and I am voting for Joe.
I am Edith Blas, and I'm voting for Joe.
I'm Richard Sannicolas, and I'm voting for Joe.
Everything the right way.
Can I call up Kevin to speak for the mayor?
Thank you so much for coming here in the village of Haget. 4 years ago, I stood before you in the Sagam Bisita as a Republican. Not knowing where this administration would take us, I stand before you here 4 years later, happy with the decision that we made as a community to vote in this administration. We have our gym that's constantly getting renovated. We have our senior citizen center that is undergoing its renovations. We have our RR crews and Finiti finally getting the flooding mitigation. The list goes on of what this administration has done and what will they continue to do for our people. We just need to come out and we need to vote. I am asking you as your mayor, let's continue our progress and let's keep moving forward. Viva Lou and Josh.
This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. Here is Claire Calvo with Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hi day, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your Weekly Renewal. I am here with the second segment with Barbara Calvo Damron. Welcome, Barb. Thank you back. Thank you. Appreciate it. And a lot of it is caring for those, your loved ones, but I also want to talk to you about caring for ourselves as caregivers. Can you share some of the tips that you have over the years, that have helped you through? Yes, and like I said, more impacted more recently, and understanding is really taking the time for yourself. And as caregivers, and like I said, with the economy the way it is and families struggling to try and care for that individual and not having a lot of resources, it's important to have a time, I would call it timeout time or downtime, because what we have as a stressor will also reflect on our care for the individual. So taking that time to, if you can find someone to help, take a few hours off your hands to exercise or just to walk or meditate or pray. You have to have your center time. Taking care of yourself nutritionally, eating well if you can. Watch your sugar intake because that also can affect your mood.
Absolutely.
And then I guess those would be the main things: taking care of your eating well, exercising. If you can find a little bit of time for yourself, and then time for just meditation or prayer.
And sometimes even if you can't step away, including them in that, right? Like if you're gonna sit and do breathing exercises or a little stretch, maybe doing it along with them to help them, to share that experience together as well.
That's a very good point, really, because like with my dad, sometimes, when I'm wanting to stretch or deep breathe, just to kind of relax myself if we're going through a little bit of a struggle in our communication, lifting my arms up and then, asking him to follow me or singing along with him a Mayoral song. It kind of lessens the stress. You become a little bit more relaxed.
Right.
And then you kind of start at a point where you're both a little bit more at ease and not.
So it is kind of like a timeout because you're distracted from whatever the chaotic moment is, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do this for, it's kind of like a reset.
Right. And I think it's important for the caregiver to remember that you have to take that time, because if you end up getting sick, then it's going to be harder on both of you and the caring of that individual who really needs that support. So it's crucial that you care for yourself.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not until you're in these groups that you hear other people's stories of having 2 jobs and still having one parent at home that they're looking after. So it's really the empathy, just that you feel for people who can't necessarily don't have the resources to have someone to hire someone to help them. So in closing, is there anything else you'd like to share?
It's a journey. It's a journey. I don't think I ever, visualized my parents getting older, but never having to deal with some of the changes that they are. Mm-hmm. And so I find it valuable, even though it has been quite stressful sometimes, valuable, and also changing my attitude. And it's really taught me, if anything, a lot more patience and understanding, and like you said, an appreciation for where they're at in life. Mm-hmm. Because reminding myself that I will get older also, and I would want someone to have the same empathy for me if I'm going through some of the issues that they're going through. So that's what I would, if anything, I'd like to end with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your wealth of information, and coming from the seat of, or wearing the hat as a nurse as well as family caregiver.
You're so welcome.
And we'll share some of the resources that we spoke about. Thank you again. My name is Claire Calvo. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
More Health, Home, and Lifestyle when we come back.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the auto industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
I have a phone. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on phone. Get live TV on your phone or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your link bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi. Ooh, TV on phone.
Half a day.
Hi.
That will be $20, please.
I forgot my Mobile Smiles driver's rewards card.
No worries. You can now use your registered mobile number to earn points.
Can I use my mobile number to redeem rewards?
Sure. Just show us your photo ID or driver's license.
That's easy.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to this week's Health, Home, and Lifestyle. And it's actually a very special episode because with me is the dietitian for the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic, Ms. Tirsa Duarte-Levin. Ms. Tirsa, I understand that you guys have a program that incorporates health and lifestyle into people who sort of want to change up how they, do things with their life, like maybe a diet change or an exercise change. Could you expand more on that?
Definitely, yes. Thanks for asking. So basically, we do have a New Start program here, and it is a lifestyle program that focuses on nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, which is another word for self-control, fresh air, rest. Let's get into the word, and trust. And so basically, we emphasize these 8 principles to help with making lifestyle changes and improving health.
So with this program, could you, just share a bit more detail about how it works, maybe an example?
Yeah, definitely. So what would happen is a person would call up the wellness center here. They would be able to sign up. We do pre-screenings so that we can see what your baseline health levels are. Different things like your blood sugars, your weight, your body composition. And then we do a short little counseling, but then you go through the course. And so it's actually a 2-week course. You get educated on lifestyle things. And then after the program, we'll have a post-screening as well. And so people get to see, with the lifestyle changes that we incorporate through the program, they'll see changes in their health that way.
So as for the people who can join, is there an age limit or can anybody join?
Typically we do adults at this time. I haven't had any children sign up for the program, but definitely it's an adult program, and so anyone's able to join.
So I'm actually kind of curious on the self-control part of the New Start program. How does that work?
The self-control?
Yes.
So basically, it's just talking about how do we avoid foods or highly processed foods or those that are unhealthy for us to get those out of the diet, basically. So it's practicing self-control in that sense. And we also offer tips on how to fight those bad habits because it's all about modification and we're lifestyle change, and there's a support element as well. And so we incorporate that to help with lifestyle change as well.
So, Ms. Tirsa, as a dietitian, what foods can you sort of say to stop eating so much of? Is it maybe too much fatty, too much chips, too much candy?
Definitely. All the high processed, of course, those things we already know what's unhealthy, right? Typically. But this will help also introduce healthful foods as well, maybe things that we've never thought to try as well. And so in that way, we kind of help with eliminating those highly processed as well.
So let's switch it up. What foods are actually really good for our body?
Oh, sure. So what we like to recommend is whole food, plant-based. And so basically, the less processed, the better. And so things that are going to be like your healthy leafy greens, your veggies, your fruits, whole grains, and healthy proteins as well.
And you also mentioned a sunlight part of the New Start program. I'm very curious about that.
Yes.
Is it like sunbathing or is it totally something else?
Well, it's basically spending time in the sun as well, and we highlight the importance of that. So vitamin D we get from the sun, and so it's really important to spend time in the sun as well. Yeah.
So how do people, join this New Start program that SDA has?
Sure. So you would call the Wellness Center here at SDA Clinic. The number is 648-2521. And basically you can call up and sign up with one of our wellness health coaches, and they'll get you started.
And I did notice that you guys have other programs besides the New Start. There's this one. It's called Diabetes, which is very clever. So if you could just share what this is.
Yeah, so Diabetes is going to be our diabetes education course as well. And so that goes on, and you meet and help with lifestyle change as far as your diabetes. And people that have participated in this program, they actually do see differences in their A1C going down, also their blood sugar going down as well. And you also have support here too to help and learn new things as well.
Right. So, Ms. Tirsa, you know, just to sort of wrap everything up.
Yeah.
In regards to the New Start program, is there anything more you can share? Anything more that makes it exciting, you know, that makes it more enticing?
Oh, yes. So one of the things with making healthy lifestyle change is how do we feel? Our quality of life. We feel much better going through these things. We see the difference. It affects, you know, our relationships, our total life. And so, you know, making those right, positive, healthy changes into our lives, it's just going to make us feel better and have a better life overall.
Is there anything you would like to say to our viewing audience, you know, just to sort of say, hey, you know, it's time for a little change with exercise, maybe even with a diet?
So basically, if you're thinking about it or considering making those changes, don't hesitate. Be encouraged that it is possible, and, you know, new health, new life, it's there for everyone. So.
And lastly, as one of the dietitians at STA, how much water should people be drinking since you know it's been super hot lately, and
definitely
people tend to forget to drink 8 cups of water.
Yeah.
So is there such a thing as too much and too little water?
I think here in Guam, it's really hard to do too much water, honestly. But yeah, basically the standard would be starting with your 8. But one formula we like to go by is half your weight in ounces. So for instance, if a person is 150 pounds, you want to divide that by 2. That's 75. That's 75 ounces a day. And so, you know, more or less based on, you know, the heat, how much you're outside, how active you are. But yeah, that's a baseline of where to start. So at least 8 glasses of water a day is great. 8 to 10, you know, would be good for anyone living in Guam.
All right. Well, if you guys are interested in the New Start program that SD has, all you got to do is pick up the phone.
Yes.
And Ms. Tirsa, thank you so much for all the wonderful info that you shared about the New Start and what you shared also about the diabetes program.
Right,
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll have more Health, Home, and Lifestyle after the break.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program. We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds of the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
Santa Fe family.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
And here's another House to Home with Jason, Liz, and Gina.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Day, everybody. This is House to Home, where each and every Tuesday, Liz Duenas, Gina Campos, and myself, Jason Salas, bring you information that you need to know. First of all, thank you for all the feedback and thank you for all the views you got on Liz and Gina's special checklist on how you can actually get prepared, get all your ducks in a row, get all the paperwork squared away, and be compliant so that you can quickly get the house of your dreams. Ladies, I've got nothing but positive feedback for that. So congratulations on a wonderful series.
That's great.
And it wasn't, Jace, it wasn't ducks in a row. It was blocks in a row.
Very nice. Get all your hollow blocks all arranged like properly. And as Liz actually said, make sure you fill the hollow blocks with actual cement and not, torn up paper.
Exactly.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, go on our YouTube channel. There's a special playlist just for that series. It's wonderful. Trust me, you're going to want to enjoy it. We are talking today, though, about a topic that is no laughing matter whatsoever. It is the recession. Ladies, I would like to talk to you about matters of economics, if we can, and how that affects the local real estate market. From your vantage point, both of you, are we approaching a recession, as many people think, on a macroeconomic level, or as far as the real estate market, are we in one already?
I've got to comment that, my son Josh, he's a real estate agent in Las Vegas, and I was just talking to him the other day, and he said the market in the States has shifted. It was considered a seller's market, and he says now, due to the rising interest rates, and it is now a buyer's market. But on top of it, he said that buyers are canceling their transactions. And part of the reason is with the interest rates going up, and financial analyst was saying that the interest rates went up rather quickly in 4 months in comparison to previous historical data. And as a result, the